Mike, I gotta sit here for a minute. Bringing in the big hitter.
Bringing in the talent.
Huh?
Bringing in the talent.
Yeah. You're in trouble. Hey, Tanya, you're in trouble.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our continued live coverage of the 2017 PWBA Rochester Open, presented by Nationwide. Emil Williams Jr. here with you, and a special guest right off the bat as we begin things here, none other than Jim Callahan, Storm Ball rep, out here on the PWBA Tour for 95% of the season. I think you've missed one event.
Yeah, I've had to do the senior tour a little bit, and then actually I did Oklahoma for the regular PBA tour. Good morning, sir.
How are you? I appreciate you joining us. I'd like to get a few reps in, of course, to get your insight and knowledge to the viewers, to kind of get a different pair of eyes, if you will, to see what you're seeing. So tough pattern, obviously, mysterious pattern. Looked pretty long, but what did you see yesterday, and the differences kind of round one and round two, and where players were being successful?
I think even if you started practice, that I think when Mike Devaney and myself were here, actually, we thought that the pattern, there was only two really defined spots you could play. The gutter played very, very well, 1, 2, 3, but you had to be very direct through the front. And or because our thought is that it's very long. So in most cases, you either play very, very close to the head boom, or you play very, very far out if it's built in. And that's what we thought was going to happen. We had a team meeting yesterday. We thought that, those two places were going to be the spots to play. And actually, an interesting thing happened in the first round yesterday that we didn't think was going to happen. Everybody started to the right. We had a couple girls. Leanne Hulsenberg played in, Tanya, remember her, played in a little bit. But because they saved the middle part of the lane, everybody played to the right, and it just kind of broke down like a normal pattern.
Yeah, it's by the end of game 6, the scores were pretty high.
The scores were crazy. It ended up where, it was very conventional when you look at it. You had to keep the ball in front. You can't throw it to the right. If you watch the live stream today, you'll notice that a lot of the girls' angles are very direct. But it's funny that it was 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, and they ended up around 15 or so at the end, and the scores got to be very, very high. Very, very high. Mike and I actually thought the cut score was going to be 130 or 140 under. But after the first round, we're like, wow, they got pretty good at the end.
Right.
And I think the reason that happened is because the middle lane was saved so much, nobody bowled there. So it didn't get chopped up all the way across the lane, which was a good thing. We were very happy about that, because if people would have played in, they'd have been very ugly yesterday.
I was joking yesterday that after the end of game 6, it looked like if there was a week where the ladies would want a burn squad, that might have been the one, considering just the scoring pace at the end of the round.
Oh, 100%. We agreed with that. I'm like, don't run them. Just leave them alone. And then the process started over, and actually, a few of the girls yesterday, Kelly Kulik, a few of the higher-end players actually started between 5 and 10 yesterday, instead of playing that 1, 2, 3, because there was actually, the ball would actually tip a little bit in that spot. So the second squad, there was more girls that started a little bit farther to the left. So what happened is, you have the girls playing 5, 6, 7, and then you had most of the girls playing 1, 2, 3. So your moves went from a little bit to get to that transition like we had the first squad. You had to jump. You had to jump over top of where the girls were, because if they missed in, then their ball hooked. And what we've been telling the players is that if your ball hooks, it's funny, Danielle McEwen, who's on live stream right here in front of us, she's on the pair next that we have, is that everybody's perception of what I have is if you're moving one with your feet, you need to move two with your eyes, just so that you can keep your swing line straight to your target. And about the fifth game last night, she goes, man, my ball's hooking left, and if I miss right, it's hanging. And I go, you're not far enough in. You know, you had to keep moving. And the same with Tanya is that you had to find fresh oil all the time, because if you think about it out there, that if you're going to keep the ball in front of you, what do you have to have in front of you? You have to have oil. If there's hook in front of you, that's not a good thing. So.
That's a great point, and I imagine to that point, we saw a lot of players look like they threw really good shots, but they would wash out. 1, 2, 4, 10, you know, not around 5, but maybe 7, 8. Really good. Obviously, ball never tipped at the end. Is that kind of what you're talking about in that regard?
Absolutely. What happens is when you play the lane, the oil, because people use stronger balls, the oil goes from the front part of the lane and then migrates to the back part of the lane. So what happens is your ball actually burns up. It doesn't go too long enough. It actually burns up and stops, and then bails on the back part of the lane. And then if you keep it in front of you, because your angles are bad, the ball's going to hook. So you have to continually find. The one thing that when you bowl on extremely tough patterns is you have to find fresh surface to bowl on all the time. And the analogy that I use is right now the gutter is about 3. You know, you don't want to get it past 3.
Right.
And as the day migrates, all the years that I've been a tour rep, I continue to tell the players, now your gutter's 6, now your gutter's 8, now your gutter's 10.
Sounds like a good visual.
You know what I mean?
Too.
That's what we're trying to do, so they don't get it past that spot. I mean, it got to the point last night where some pairs the gutter was 15, some pairs the gutter was 12. I mean, it's an interesting bowling center, because my understanding is, I mean, I'm an East Coast guy, that I've been here a bunch of times, that there's 3 different bowling centers here. It's not one bowling center.
So beds all across from everywhere. Okay.
But like up here at the high end plays super tight. Overall, there's just less overall shape. From 1 to 12, the ball hooked early and kind of bailed on the back, and in the middle where you're at right here, it's not that bad actually. They've been moderate scores in the middle here. So it's been challenging because it hasn't been pair to pair. It's been lane to lane. You know what I mean? Girls, hey, this lane's 5 more than this lane or that. It's an old bowling center. You know what I mean? And old bowling centers have character. You know what I mean? Certain lanes have different topography situations.
Right.
By topography, we mean, you know, there's peaks and valleys in every lane, and it's like it's like navigating a fairway in golf, you know, but we can't see what we're looking at.
The voice you hear is Jim Callahan, Storm, ball rep here on the PWBA Tour. What do you expect just from round 1 and round 2? Obviously, Cashier's round is different. It's the third time the pattern has been down, less bowlers overall. What did you tell your players, and kind of what do you expect?
I think there's 4 lefties that made the cut, so there's going to be 28 players. So what we have to pay attention to is like the first pair on 15 and 16, there's 2 lefties bowling. So when our players go to that pair, it's going to be tighter. It's going to be fresher than what it would normally be. So that's one obstacle that we have to go around. I said that I don't think they're going to get left of about 12 or 13 today, because there's less players. You know, honestly, there's the players that bowled good yesterday, or bowled well, are the ones playing today. So I think that they're going to be more in a defined spot. And all the weeks you've been on the PWBA Tour, you see that on Sunday, the scores are usually better. So I just have everybody same game plan. Keep it in front of you, and we just don't think you're going to have to migrate as far left.
I appreciate your time, sir. Go to work.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Anytime.
That is Jim Callahan. Rep side, thank you, sir, for all of your talent. Appreciate Jim coming on and chatting it up a little bit here. Give you some ideas on what he expects to see today. This is Cashers round play, top 32. Leader was Christina Zerbinski. Second, Shannon Pulhowski. And as Jim alluded to, they're starting on what I believe is 15 and 16 today. The 1, 2, and 32 trio. The Cashers round this morning. Lindsay Boomershine has the front six. Tanya Raumenker. Oh, with just a disgusting 8-pin to stop the run at 5. Got a couple pairs set up for you here. Of course, as we gotta get set in between, or I should say ahead of time, as best we can. For match play this afternoon, one pair will be out of play between the pairs that are going in front of us currently. Nice late kick on the 10-pin for Sarah Germano. Shot 289 on this pair yesterday. Danielle McEwen now on 3 in a row. See Tanya shot here. And take a look at 27 and 28. All right, let's take a look at Lindsay Boomershine. New mom, we've talked about her a little bit the last few weeks. Queens from the Players Championship. Bowling pretty well last week. Now with the front 7, make it their front 8. Caitlin Simpson along with Camilla Dahmers on that pair as well. Haven't looked at the standings? Be sure to do so at pwba.com/live. Check qualifying round 2. Round 1 is there as well. Zerbinski came into the lead at plus 185. Puhalski second at plus 154. Clara Gaudetto third at plus 150. Missy Parkin in fourth at plus 137. And for Russo in fifth at plus 119. Cut score was Danielle Vandermeer and Josie Barnes, both tied at minus 43. Missing by a pin were Ashley Galante and Cassandra Luthold. If you were with us last night, we saw Elise Bolton give it all she had, striking out in the 10th and fell just 4 pins shy of the number. Keep it locked with Boomershine. Shot from O'Keefe off camera. Lindsay for the front 9. And a weak 10 there. Looks she might have gotten it in just a tad. It's a good start too. The Cashers round 4. Lindsey Boom. Uh-oh. Well, that's a rare miss. She'll shake that one off quickly as the 10th frame is upon us. Pin there for Boomershine. Caitlin Simpson can get to 200 even. Camilla Dahmers can get to 210. Back-to-back opens in frames 6 and 7. And 2-8-10 there for Caitlin Simpson. Back over to 23 and 24. A little bit of Danielle McEwen. Her run-ins at 5 in a row. All right, Rao Mimper. It is certainly early
Early, obviously, on the West Coast. Mountain Time, even early Central Time Zone. Appreciate you tuning in if you are visiting with us this morning. If you are just joining us, this is game one of the Cashers round. Spoke with Stormball rep Jim Callahan at the very beginning of the broadcast, so encourage you to check that out. You can do so on Extra Frame just by moving the timeline bar back to the beginning and listen in. And some of Jim's commentary. Try to have a couple more reps on throughout the day. Get their thoughts as well. Brian O'Keefe is in the building from Brunswick. Of course, Jim Callahan, Stormball rep. Mike Calderon representing EBI this week. And Nathan Bohr representing Motive. 4-pin there for McEwen off camera. 256 the final score for Lindsay Boomershine. 166 for Caitlin Simpson. 169 for Camilla Dahmers. Very good shot there for Tanya, and she shoots 246. Nice shot there from O'Keefe. Last year, Shannon led this event through qualifying and match play, or at the end, I should say, as the #1 seed. So you talked about last year just kind of dealing with what she was hoping was not unnecessary pressure from being sort of a hometown favorite. Of course, husband Brian is from Rochester, and they lived here for many years prior to their move. And so there were a lot of people, of course, she knew. But it ended up being exactly what she would have liked in the sense. There's a big double there in the 10th. She's got a 3-bagger, including the 9th frame, where she was able to just continue to bowl, remain calm. She was normally, didn't want to kind of go back and chat a little bit or quite often with friends, but it ended up being a good thing for her on the way to that #1 seed. Ultimately, she finished second at the event to, of course, defending champion Josie Barnes, who made match play this week, or excuse me, made the Cashers round as the 32nd seed, or tied for 31st with Danielle Vandermeer. All right, 234. For Shannon O'Keefe. And the scoring is started. All right, players will make their move. Be sure to check your pairing sheet if you haven't already as well. It can also be found at pwba.com/live. pwba.com/live. Coming up next on 23 and 24, again, Josie Barnes, Christina Zerbinski, and Shannon Puhowski. 25 and 26, you'll get a little bit of Danielle Vandermeer, Clara Gaudetto, and Missy Parkin. And on 27 and 28, Stephanie Sheridan, Jen Russo, and Jennifer Cutter. All three non-members. They get to bowl together, of course, based on the way they finished last night. Be a small break in the action. The players will get right back at it here shortly. We appreciate you joining us here bright and early Saturday morning, as we normally do it. You're watching the 2017 Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open. Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
cell phones, please. This is professional. Whoops. Can't take them anywhere. Right.
All right, folks, welcome back. Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open. Watching Shannon Puhalski, Josie Barnes, and Christina Zerbinsky. Two top players, 1-2, and essentially 32. Generally how that works. Those who cross together and during the cashers round. After a ball that started extremely early. Now the lane's there for Josie. So Joe's having some trouble here. 4 consecutive open frames. Zerbinsky. Couple opens as well. And now a strike. See Clara Guerrero, the right of your screen. Clara now with, let's see, she goes front 4, 9 spare, and a strike and the 6th frame. The 3-9 for Puhalski. Match play will begin at 1 p.m. Again, the top 12 will move on. Will be broken down into 2 groups, groups A and B. Moment we'll take a look at 27 and 28. Good morning, all. It is very early on the West Coast, Tiffany. Your devoted and supporting sister. Appreciate you tuning in. Hello, Kenny. Doing well? Neil, Jim, how are you? From Akron. He's on our same time zone right now. I'm thinking, I think a minimum of 1 will make the show this week. And there are thought there were at least 4. 1. We're watching 2 currently. Felicia Wong is in the cashers round. There are 4 lefties. Minimum of 1. I think max is 2. Interesting scenario, though, of course, that Christina Shannon will follow one another, of course, or will cross with each other, excuse me, for these 6 games. So we'll see if that will have a positive or, in the rare case, a negative impact. But it may not matter, because after 1 game, there is a new leader, and it is Clara Guerrero at plus 183. Christina Zerbinski at plus 176. Shannon Pluhowski in third at plus 143. Jen Russo in fourth at plus 141. Clara, one more strike in the 8th. Missy Parkin on a 3-bagger. To our right, Barnes. Josie searching here this morning. Now the top 12 cut would be plus 78. It would be Diana Zavialova. Folks, I apologize. I'd like to get you some coverage of 27 and 28, but got a bit of a jumpy screen over there, so at some point after this game, I'd like to survey the issue. I've done it a few times, and my quick troubleshooting needs aren't being met at the moment, so I'll have to take a little bit more time. So to fans of Stephanie Sheridan and Jen Russo, I know Todd has been watching Jen throughout. Apologies, as well as Jen Cutter. It's visible or viewable, but it's going to jump on you, and that's just not the type of quality that we'd like to provide here, so I'd rather just fix it. Boy, Clara Guerrero looks pretty solid overall here in this early going. 239 now for Clara. That's a pretty good start, to say the least. Tough sledding here for Josie Barnes, 149, 211 for Shannon Kulhowski. Jennifer Russo. First shot in the 10th is a good one. Oh, excuse me, that was a double. In the 10th, she's got 3 in a row. So she's in the 230s there. Todd, to give you the old play-by-play on the radio. Take a look at what Zerbinski can do here while we can. Haven't seen that look from Christina at any time yesterday. But sometimes that's part of it. A lot of times, as Jim Callahan mentioned this morning, had him on from Storm. You know, less bowlers today doesn't really affect Zerbinski or Pluhowski that much overall, but again, they cross with each other throughout the day. It's a big spare there for Zerbinski, just from a confidence perspective, I think. Listen to her talk about her day last night. That is on the PWBA Facebook page. It's also on Twitter. So take a small break, and I'm going to try to see what's going on our other pair and make sure it's all and well. Back in a moment, folks. Game 3 on the way. You're watching the Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open, Full TV on Extra Frame. got that situated, which is good. Now we will focus our attentions here on 23 and 24. This time, Kayla Bandy, Jen Higgins, two roommates. Rachel Del Cerrone. Get a little bit of Angie Ramirez Perea and Summer Jasmine to our right. Josie Barnes, Christina Zerbinski, and Shannon Puhowski have moved on to 27 and 28. I guess today's gonna be one of those days, and it happens. Happens sometimes with in the business. Not that anything is going wrong, but there's things to tinker with, and those take time to fix. Zerbinski back on it. Puhowski on a triple as well. Kayla Bandy. Spare here. Let's see what our scores are looking like. Hello, Joanne. Appreciate you tuning in. Phoenix is a popular place this morning. How warm is it already in Phoenix? At 6:32 Pacific time. Curious to know. Hello, James. James, we had Jim Callahan on this morning. He opened up with us here in game number 1. So you can rewind, essentially, catch a little bit of what Jim was chatting about. Sometimes when it's this early, it really depends on who's in the building. On who is available. Got Jim on. He's working, of course, so try to steal a few minutes of the ball reps times when we can. I know some looks like some guys are having trouble seeing the top of scores and names. That's one of those things where someone may have just tipped the old camera a little bit there, touched it. Accidentally. Should be all good though. Shot there. Jen Higgins made a late charge last night into the cashier's round. In fact, she moved up to 19th. Last 2 games last night, 266, 232. She went 61 over in round 2, but 100 more pins than round 1 overall. So round 2 was kind to Jen Higgins. She could have some success on a pair that she liked. She took advantage. A couple games, 3 games of 230 or better in round number 2. Let's take a brief look over at 27 and 28. A little bit smoother now. Ramirez just to your left currently, actually, on the screen that you're watching, the pair we're watching. 3 in a row. But you 4 lefties in the cashier's round this week. Josie Barnes does the wiggle to get to a 5-bagger. From a local perspective, very good turnout in that regard. And then, of course, making the cashier's round, Sarah Germano from Rochester. Again, shot 289 yesterday. And Jennifer Cutter, again, from Rochester, New York, making the cashier's round as well. Other non-members competing this morning. Jen Russo, Caitlin Simpson, Jackie Reese, Valerie Berchier, and Rachel Del Cerrone, along with Stephanie Sheridan. The guests came out to play this week. a look at some scores here. It's qualifying round number 3. Technically, of course, we call it the cashier's round. Because, of course, everyone here receives a paycheck. Guerrero now extending the lead, plus 222. Jen Russo in second, plus 175. Tell you, Todd, this could be the week for Jen Russo. Tanya Raumemper, plus 161. She is in third. This is Tanya's last event as she will be heading home for the Southeast Asian Games. Pluhowski, Shannon P. is in fourth at plus 154. Missy Parkin is fifth at plus 148. In sixth, Christina Zerbinski, plus 147. Maria Jose Rodriguez, plus 135. She's gone 230, 230 as well. Kelly Kulik now into eighth at plus 130. Shannon O'Keefe is ninth at plus 114. Danielle McEwen is 10th at plus 90. Jackie Reese is 11th from McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Love it. Plus 81. And Diana Zavyalova is given a few pins back. She is now plus 66, but is still the number in 12th. Lurking, Caitlin Simpson in 13th at plus 56. Liz Johnson is 14th at plus 55. Angie Ramirez, who has a four-bagger and has thrown some really good shots, is 15th at plus 49. So things can get interesting here. It's a big game for Zerbinski in a sense. Scores are a little higher to start here. In the top 32. Big shot for Ramirez. No. Big shot there for Christina. First shot in the 10th. That is a good one and a much-needed double. And that'll put her in the 220s. One more, and good count, she'll be in the 230s. Game 3 cashier's round. The game's flying by already this morning. If you are in the area, certainly check out AMF Gates Lanes. Come on down. We'd love to have you. The city of Rochester, always great hosts. And the support, the local fan base is phenomenal. Summer Jasmine. All right, 2-4, 7-8, and it is spared. 218 for Zerbinski. $225 for Josie Barnes. 195. For Shannon Pluhowski. 9-pin. For Jen Higgins, Clara Guerrero. Struggling a little bit here in game 3. Striking in the 9th. Missy Parkin not struggling. Open in the 8th, however. She started with the front 6. 9 spare open, strike in the 9th. Good shot from Ramirez. So Clara can only get to 176 this game. She is on 31 and 32. Next event on the schedule, the Lucy PBA PWBA striking against breast cancer mixed doubles. On extra frame as Parkin throws the first one in the 10th. She is in the 240s. All right, Ramirez will enter your screen here. On the right, you can see her setting up. She has 188 in the 8th, strike in the 9th. Trying to move up the ladder. That's a pretty good shot, and it is. 10 back for Angie. Ramirez trying to make a move. She is 15th currently. Went +1 last night. I think she had to be about +6. Yeah, +6. Qualified 21st for the Cashers round. Rachel Del Cerrone qualified 20th at +20. $191-163 first couple games. It's a big strike in the 9th for her. Ramirez on the double. That one's in a tad. It holds. That is a 3-bagger, and Angie Ramirez looking to go 240 plus. And with that, be in around the +90-ish range. If she strikes out, she'd be a +97. And that will somewhere, I imagine, be between 10 and 12. Kayla Bandy on a 5-bagger. Ball change. I imagine she might stay with the original. Nice game from Angie. She'll move one pair to the right. Summer Jasmine. No spare. And makes it. All right, Bandy now. Got that one right. And no recovery. 1-2-4. Spare will give her 201. Kayla Bandy. -23rd, -19 after a couple this morning. The shot from Rachel. Summer Jasmine did some things that I'd say if you had to talk about comfort zones or where people like to play, Summer certainly can play left. But yesterday she was lofting the right gutter cap. playing the outside, showing the versatility. Propelled her to the top 32 here this morning. 201 for Bandy. Through the nose, 11th shot for Rachel. Spare will give her 180. Here is Jen Higgins. Loves the WWE. Favorite wrestler is John Cena. Learned that talking to Jen last year at the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. We shot our first initial player profile videos. Certainly one of the funnier interviews that I'd had all day. She was super. Good spare. Still an opportunity, although a small one, for our defending champion to continue the journey to defend the title. 202 for Jen Higgins in game 3 has come to an end. Ramirez and Jasmine already ready to go on 27 and 28. 23 and 24. We will have Rosito Restrepo, Valerie Brashear, and Jurgen Poplar. 25 and 26, we'll get a little bit of the pair we just saw. Kayla Bandy, Jen Higgins, and Rachel Del Cerrone. First up is Angie Ramirez. And let's take you there here right now. It's our event. Title sponsor is Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Lane 27, early on, not on the side of Angie Ramirez. Three, 6, 7, 9. Bandy on track here with an early strike. Restrepo, Brashear, and Poplar coming over from 19 and 20. Restrepo shot 192, Year-to-get shot 167. Mallory shot 234. Well, Angie gave it a run. As she smiles. Time we're seeing Restrepo here today. As well as Jurgen Poplar and Valerie Brashear. Valerie's name came up a little bit yesterday. 90 in Phoenix, Joanne tells me. At 6:34 at the time. Want to be 108. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I admire those like yourself, Joanne, Tiff. I know you're watching. If you're in, she's in Phoenix as well. I mean, I'm just not a Heat person. I am not, and I don't recall actually ever visiting Phoenix. I'd like to go there. There's several things I'd like to see. A lot of them are sports related. I'd like to go to Chase Field. Is it still called Chase Field, by the way? I could be off on my stadium rights names these days. They change ever so quickly in the world of sports. Nonetheless, I'd like to see a Diamondbacks game. Definitely need to visit, check out a Phoenix Suns game. Little known or 6 degrees of separation from Grand Canyon University, which I'm almost positive is in Phoenix. When they started, I don't know if they started the athletic squad. I think they already had an athletic program, but when they moved to Division I in the Western Athletic Conference, I was in that conference as a radio broadcaster for the Chicago State men's basketball team. So I got a chance to see the beginnings, essentially, of the program in the WAC. I can't remember if it was their first year total, or if they had a program that was just making the move, like Chicago State was, for example, to the WAC and to the NCAA Division I level. But Dan Marley, well, you can just tell that there were going to be great things coming to Grand Canyon. They had a few years. They had to go through the period you go through when you make changes such as D1 to D2 or D2 to D1, etc. So they couldn't participate in postseason play, but they would have if they could have. Donald, appreciate it. Hope all is well in regards to what you see on the screen. Everything should be on the up and up. Appreciate you tuning in. Hello, Scott. That's pretty cool. Appreciate that, Scott. Appreciate you tuning in, and also telling us that your daughter's certainly looking forward to the Pro-Am tonight. That is one of the highlights of the week for many, especially youth bowlers. The smiles and faces that they have while, during, and after. They are bowling with the best in the world. It's pretty cool to see. Nice spare from Higgins, 310. Cindy Ramsell says, "Let's go, Missy Parkin." I tell you, Missy, she's not playing any games this morning. See where she is after 3 games. And just like that, Missy Parkin is your new leader after 15 games at plus 193. Clara Guerrero is second at plus 187. Christina Zerbinski is third at plus 165. Jen Russo and Shannon Pluhowski tied for fourth at plus 149. Maria Jose Rodriguez is plus 132 in sixth. Tanya Raumenper plus 125 in seventh. Danielle McEwen is eighth at plus 124. Kelly Kulik is ninth at plus 122. Shannon O'Keefe is 10th at plus 103. Caitlin Simpson, after shooting 166 in game 1, she is followed with 223, 244. Hiccups. And 11th, she is plus 100, and Jackie Reese is 12th at plus 99. So Angie Ramirez didn't get into the cut that game after shooting 248. She is 91 over for 3 games, and as I look through the standings, Angie has the highest block of the day so far. Again, that is through 3 games. She is plus 97. Camila Davers in 14th at plus 93. Diana Zabialova plus 89 and 15th. Valerie Bashir is in 16th at plus 70. Liz Johnson. Liz is close enough, of course. All she's got to do is be within distance. And you can never, of course, count her out, especially considering the season that she is having so far. So Missy Parkin, your leader, at plus 193. All right, let's take a look at 27 and 28. We'll check on Angie in a sec. Out to some early struggles here on 27 and 28. Hey, Judy, did not forget you. All is well in Florida. I did not go to Orlando, but I was in Tampa. And the weekly forecast while we were there was 97 or more Fahrenheit. And I guess that's okay when you can just consistently go to the beach and kind of hang out. Of course, Florida a little more humid. A walk from the parking lot on Sunday, going to Tropicana Field last week. Of course, I was not prepared for the weather as well. I think I might own at the moment maybe 2 pair of shorts, just maybe 2. It's not that I don't like shorts, I do. But most of the time, obviously, we spend 90% of the day in the bowling center. Could be a little chilly when you're not competing. So pants, of course, are the necessity generally. And then also, the other thing is there's really not enough time, most of the time, if you will, to go out and do some other things. And so, but I knew where I was going. I knew I was going to Florida. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, you'll just go buy a pair of shorts when you get there. But that never, right? That never happens. You never get that opportunity. Never comes to fruition. And so I was wearing some dark jeans and a dark shirt. Again, not smart. But I was okay. But just from the walk, from the lot to stadium, we went to a local restaurant across the street from the Trop. Ate and then on over to the game, but it was pretty warm. The inside of the vehicle that I had, whew, talking about letting it air out. You have to let the windows down. We're just talking about heat. Just steam coming out of the car. Steam. Bandy gets the 9 pin to fall on the right side of your screen. Yerget Poplar. Yerget had a decent time in Florida. Orlando was quite kind as the #1 seed, so she will be bowling for a title, a PWBA title yet again. Last year she made the USBC Queens Show, finished 4th. The ladies have that look on their face. A mysterious pattern. Pretty long. Players have been playing the outside parts of the lane, both lefties and righties. Seen some righties play in, but not necessarily left to right. More direct, straight angles around 16, 17, 20 in that area. Jim Callahan mentioned round 1, everyone played outside. So the middles never got chopped up. By the end of game 6 had a lot of high scores. We had a couple front nines. You mentioned Sarah Germano, 289. Kelly Kulik had the front 9 that game. And there were other scores of 260 or better as well in game 6. And it just kind of broke down in the way you would like it to break down. Round 2, a little bit different. Scores were a little lower. I think players had to move a little left earlier to try to get the jump on the scoring pace to see if they can make up some pins or gain some. Strepo, she a little frustrated at the moment. Putting the ball in the 1-3. Not getting any carry here. Take a look to our right. Vinsky, 116 in the 6th on a double. Lulahowski, 149 in the 7th. Strike in the 8th. She's up in the 9th right now. And that is a double. Spare for Restrepo. Missy Parkin is up. Missy double, spare, strike, spare, 3-bagger. She's up in the 9th frame. 5 seconds to show. And that's a 4-pin. Missy, your leader after 15 games. Shot there for Sear. She will be representing Canada at the World Games. World Games are coming up. Be July 20th through the 30th. It's an international multi-sport event for sports not included within the Olympic Games, which is why it's a pretty important competition, especially for bowling. It's held every 4 years, 1 year after the Summer Olympic Games. Kelly Kulik won the gold in singles. Last time it was held. So for Canada again, the Valerie Bashir and Miranda Panis, who we talked with, or excuse me, had a couple opportunities to watch bowl. She bowled a few events on tour this season. The Bowling World Cup for Canada. Other players who are on tour will be headed to Poland Clara Guerrero and Rocio Restrepo from Colombia. Birgit Poplar from Germany, of course. As you may have heard of, obviously Daria Payu, who you'll get a chance to see on Tuesday. The PWBA Greater Detroit Open will air on CBS Sports Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. She is representing her host country, Poland. Mariana Ayala, PWBA player, will be there representing Puerto Rico. Bernice Lim, 2016 USBC Queens champion, will represent Singapore. Karen Marcano, constant competitor, one of the best as well, be representing Venezuela. Kelly Kulik and Danielle McEwen will represent the United States of America. Also Daria Kovalova from the Ukraine. Former Wichita State Shocker Player of the Year. Summer Jasmine can get to 191, and Andy Ramirez struggling on 27 and 28. She can get to 169. Mercier clean through 5. Had the Dutch going through the first 5 frames. Now a 3-bagger. She is up in the 9th frame. And a 278. Open in the 10th for Angie. 148. She will give pins back she gained in the previous game. Final score for Summer Jasmine, 188. Meanwhile, Valerie Mercier did spare. Really good shot there from Rowe. And she ends with 192. 5 consecutive 9 spares. Restrepo, 10 pins. That's got a hook. Well, a little bit outside there for Valerie. It happens. It happens on this condition. Plus 70. That's where Valerie stands. She needs 2 to go plus. Jen Higgins open in the 9th. 1 more to get to 230s. She was looking at 260 just like yesterday. Trying to make another move. 230 won't be a bad consolation though. Wow. S4 to end things. Hopefully not the count you're looking for there, although it's helpful to where it happened. But 207 for Valerie. Higgins, spare opportunity. That's good, and she will shoot 222. 222 for Jen Higgins. And she will move to plus 33 overall. Plus 33 for Jen Higgins after 16 games. Where will everyone else be after 16 games? We will know in a matter of minutes, as Kelly Kulick looks like she will throw the final shots here in game 3 of this morning's Cashers round. She is currently, with good count, will be in the 230s. Best count you can get, strike for Kulick. Kelly shoots 234. All right, no time wasted. That was game 4. Pardon me. We are entering game 5. Boomershine, Simpson, and Dahmers. Sabrina Divis, Diana Zavyalova, Jackie Reese. We're on 27 and 28. In the middle, 2 legends. Kelly Kulick, Liz Johnson. Now joined by former Wichita State standout, Felicia Wong. All right, so here is Lindsay Boomershine, 9 spare early. She had the front 8 in game 1. It was on 27 and 28. A chance to see a little bit of Liz Johnson with 2 games left. We'll see where Liz is, how close she is to making match play. Last week ended a string. Appearances, of course, where she made match play, she made TV. 7 TV appearances on the season. Some have come and gone, of course. Some yet to be taped. Another one in Orlando. Her favorite event is upcoming. US Women's Open. She has won the last 3. And has 5 overall in her illustrious career. Liz and Kelly always draw a crowd. Doesn't matter what time it is. It could be 3 a.m. in the morning. It could be 5 a.m. in the morning. If the bowling center was open and fans knew that Kelly and Liz Johnson would be here or anywhere, there would be at least 10 people who would gather to watch. Just them 2. That's how really special and beloved they are. What they have done in their careers and for women's bowling and the sport of bowling itself. Now for Liz Johnson specifically in this town, Rochester, New York. Divis, nice job. She made the 6, 7, 10. Or 27 to 28. Liz is an hour or so, she's an hour or so east of her hometown of Cheektowaga, New York. Commerce, powerful strike. Thanks everyone for tuning in, checking in. All right, Liz Johnson, front four. Dahmer's after the open, back three. All right, Caitlin Simpson with her first double. Liz Johnson will appear on the right of your screen. She'll be on the right lane. You see the ball going down the lane. Didn't like it. It goes to Brooklyn and just leaves a 6-pin. Let's take a look at some scores. Updated after 16 games. After 4 today, Missy Parkin in the lead. At plus 229. Clara Guerrero is second at plus 212. Christina Zerbinski is third at plus 198. Kelly Kulik and Maria Jose Rodriguez fourth at plus 156. Shannon Puhowski is sixth at plus 152. Caitlin Simpson is seventh at plus 137. Jackie Reese is eighth at plus 136. Danielle McEwen is ninth at plus 124. Tanya Raumemper is 10th at plus 115. Shannon O'Keefe 11th at plus 112. Jen Russo in 12th at plus 106. And there's Liz Johnson. Just 7 pins back of the number in 13th at plus 99. With 1.5 games to go now. Valerie Mercier plus 77 and 14. Zapialova is 15th at plus 72. Camilla Dahmers is 16th at plus 71. At this point, we start to look at who's leading, who's in second. Top 2 players will lead the respective match play groups. If you're unfamiliar with the standard event format. While we get the deadwood out of the way. find time to tell you that if you haven't already, be sure to keep an eye on things during the week. Next week, that is, of course. If you like youth bowling, we'll have plenty of it for you. Junior Gold in Cleveland, Ohio. Junior Gold Championships ongoing. U12, U15, and U20, as well as USA Bowling. We have 2 national champions crowned yet again. They all will compete for titles on CBS Sports Network. On Saturday, of course, check bowl.com/youth. More information about Junior Gold. We'll be heading there tomorrow morning. Heading to Cleveland. Opening ceremonies is tomorrow night. Shout out to Gary Brown, Zach Barton, Andrew Lowy, and Brandon Cruz, Christy Cardacy, and Amy Drescher, and Tiffany Guerrero, and Roger Nordic, and everyone who has had something to do with Junior Gold. Those members I just named directly from the youth department. Nice shot there from Kulik. Tough spare, but Simpson goes right at it and makes it. All right, take a look over at 27 and 28. Zavyalova just saw Jackie Reese. Felicia Wong, shot from the lefty, was to your left. Reese with a 4-bagger. Zavyalova. See Liz Johnson on your left. 4-bagger, 9-spare, 8-spare, gets the 10 out. This could be the moving game for Liz Johnson. She is moving her way into the number. Mrs. parents were here yesterday. Stop up to watch their daughter continue to do what she has done for so many years and do it at a high level. Very good shot, Camilla from Aruba, but that was off camera. A pretty good doubles team. Aruba, I'm sure they probably bowled together. Camilla Dahmers and Tashina Saraus. Zavyalova. A strike in the 8th. From Reese Divis now on the string. Liz Johnson, ball going down the lane, and she gets him. Izzy J. Folks, what's your favorite part about the PWBA Tour being back? If you care to comment, be happy to talk with you about it. I'm curious. My favorite part is just it's kind of generic, but it's not at the same time, where you get to watch the best players in the world every week for a good portion, essentially, of the summer, basically all of it. And I get to travel and talk to you, the fans. Hopefully bring you some pretty solid play-by-play a little bit, of course, and then we try to get you as much insight as we can. Obviously, I'm not a professional, but that young lady right there is, who is able to trip the 4. She didn't like it, but it went down. That was Liz Johnson. To watch and call magical Liz moments, and Kelly moments, and Felicia Wong moments, and Lindsay Boomershine moments, and Diana Zavjalova moments, and anyone's moments. Get to call those things. So that was a couple of my, I guess it really wasn't that generic after all, but just really being able to, even if I wasn't involved, the fact that it's here, it's active, and it's continuing to grow, not only from a player base and the perspective, but the fan base as well. And almost kind of merging, because we have really merged some generations with the tour. Divis was through the nose. Sabrina in the 10th frame. Caitlin Simpson to our left with a strike. Felicia Wong, good shot. Jackie Reese, she's in the top 12, trying to remain there. Shot will certainly help her cause. One more, she could be in the 220s. She would need a double and 9 to do that. Got the first one. Let's take a quick look over at Caitlin Simpson. Simpson looking for a double, has it in the 10th frame. A former Pikeville University competitor. Folks, Missy Parkin, I mentioned, was your leader. After 16 games, unsure of what she shot, but either way, you'll get a chance to see her along with Danielle Vandermeer and Clara Guerrero on 23 and 24. She is coming up next. So all the Missy Parkin fans watching, stay tuned. She will be on the featured pair here in Game 6. Liz Johnson coming through your screen, got it right, and she got it right to the right spot. Lizzie J in the 250s. To my quick point about merging generations, I believe it was KC who joined us yesterday on Facebook, that it was a first-time PWBA, or excuse me, Extra Frame subscriber who loved the PWBA and grew up watching PWBA and LPBT. There are many like KC. Obviously have ties, grew up watching, watched it on TV, etc. And then it went away. And so now there's a younger generation. Good shot. Liz wrapped to 10. It's okay. She's going to be in the 250s. Spare will give her 256. Reshot 221, Divis 226. Avialova turned her back on it, and she left a 3-9 off camera. So the younger generation, the youth players of today, the collegiate players of today, now that opportunity is there for them to move on to the next level, the professional level, if they so choose. There's a younger group of fans as well now who, by this tour being back, now merge the generations with those who watched Liz as a rookie in comparison to those who watched Liz as a 21-time professional titleist. If you sit and think about that, there are two generations, at least a couple, but on the tour, who watched Liz Johnson as a rookie in 1996. And there's a younger generation who is watching Liz maybe for the first time now as a 21-time professional titleist and a 9-time major titleist. That's pretty cool. Yalova missed the 3-9. She shot 169 after she chopped it. This last shot will come from Kelly Kulick, and it'll be on the left side of your screen, and we will head to game 6. $170 for Kelly Kulick. 170. Peter Potter, hello, sir. Wishing good luck to all of the Storm ladies. All right, game 6 is upon us, and Missy Parkin will start it. And she'll start on a good note. Strike for Missy. '25 and '26 will feature Sheridan Russo, Stephanie Sheridan, Jen Russo, and Jennifer Cutter. Very important game 6. Shannon O'Keefe starts with an 8-10. That's a little rare. Well, the pattern had a little bit to do with that. Really not doing too much with the bowling ball. Just kind of allowing it to do what it does. Angle's very straight. Around 18, 19 at the arrows. Jim Callahan earlier today, he kind of referenced how he relates to his players. Sometimes they need to change their gutter. On the fresh yesterday, early on, the gutter was like 3 or 4. And then sometimes when they need to move that target, move their eyes, etc., the gutter is 12. The gutter is 15. You see Parkin's gutter looks like it's around 15 at this point. To give you some comparison, an analogy in that regard. Basically, there's a barrier. Depending on how you're playing the lanes, the barrier may change. Big game for Jen Russo. Last week she finished 13th, and she bowled very well the last game too. Just a couple players had higher games than her. All right, let's see where we are after 17 games. Not yet. Update not yet in. All right, I'll let you know. We'll see who is close. We may assume, but we know what happens when we assume. But it's a safe assumption. Liz Johnson might be into the top 12 after her 256 effort. In game number 17. Match play begins at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. To your right, you see Stephanie Sheridan, Delaware State player. Having a great showing here. Making the cashers round. Jennifer Cutter is in the top 10 for what seemed like a lot of yesterday. See where she is after 17 games momentarily. She'll be any closer. So after 17, here we go. Missy Parkin, leader at plus 241. Clara Guerrero is second, 30 pins back at plus 211. Christina Zabinski is third, 32 pins back, plus 209. Maria Jose Rodriguez is fourth at plus 169. Danielle McEwen is fifth at plus 159. Jackie Reese is sixth, plus 157. McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Liz Johnson catapults herself from 13th to 7th after that 256. She's at plus 155 in 7th place. Shannon Pluhowski is 8th at plus 151. Caitlin Simpson, non-member at plus 150, and 9th Valerie Bercier in 10th, non-member at plus 141. Right now, 3 non-members in the top 12. Kelly Kulik is 11th at plus 126. Shannon O'Keefe is 12th at plus 124. Tanya Raumemper is plus 95 and 13th. And 14th is Jennifer Russo at plus 93. Dahmers with an outside chance at plus 73 and 15th. Zavyalova is 16th at plus 68. Jennifer Cutter is 17th at plus 46. So we'll keep an eye on what we can. Good shot there from Missy. from Guerrero. Mentioned Raul Memper and O'Keefe essentially battling for the final spot. O'Keefe is in. Raul Memper 13th. We'll take a look at Tanya. And a 7-pin as O'Keefe after that 8-10 as a 3-bagger. Seen some non-members make some shows this year. Julianna Franco made 2 shows. Her first was as a non-member, then she joined and made another show. The Shyness Rouse just last week appeared on the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open TV show. She too was a non-member, bowled 2 events, finished 19th in Wichita and then 2nd in Lincoln. Now we've got 3 amateur, guest, non-members, etc. And the top 12 could remain the same. It could change. It could be more, depending on what happens during this game. Got my chart out, writing some names down. So I think we realistically see Jen Cutter would have had to at least shoot 260 to have a realistic shot getting to the number at plus 46. So I think 16th, which is Diana Zavyalova, would have that still remaining fighting chance to get there. You always have to keep in mind those who may fall out, drop out of the cut. Those things do happen. Right now, check back over to Missy Parkin. Missy on a double. Almenfer made her spare. Cutter striking on the right side there. That was her going down the lane in game 6. If you're just joining us, Christina Zerbinski came in to the cashier's round with the lead. It could be Missy Parkin as the inside track on heading into match play as the leader. Bandy down on 15 and 16. If I recall, she told me yesterday that it was her mom's birthday today. So Mrs. Bandy is watching. Happy birthday. On behalf of everyone here, of course, PWBA, and your daughter. Stephanie Sheridan. There's Clara Guerrero. Sheridan struck on 26. Jen Cutter from Rochester then entered the screen just to the right of Clara. Leaves an A10. Cutter trips a 4. You never know, Jen Cutter. You got to get all you can get. Russo. He's gone spare, 3-bagger, spare strike, and now 7-pin in the 7th frame. Shannon Puhalski shot 227. She was 8th and will be in. Shot there from Parkin. We head to the 10th frame. We're on 27 and 28. Shannon O'Keefe, who is 12th, trying to solidify that spot. Can get to 237. That's her max score. Double would put her in the 230s no matter what. That's 1. She's in the 220s. Tanya Raumemper, best she can do is shoot 194. So at most, she's going to lose pins. Jen Russo will still maybe have an opportunity. There and leaves a 3-6-10 in Russo. Raumemper struck O'Keefe. 7-pin will not fall. 226. Very good tournament for Tanya Rowmemper. Looks like she's going to come up just a bit short. And Jen Russo just chopped at 3-6-10 in the 8th. Leaves her match score to 225. 226 for Shannon O'Keefe. Russo can only get to plus 118. That's if she strikes out. Memper shot 193. It's plus 88. Parkin has been working hard for many years. Get back to television, of course. Is a Queens champion, has a major. First to win 3 PBA regional titles. Now she could have the inside track on an automatic spot onto television. She's a leader. Head into match play. What a shot. Trying to put some cushion. She's got a 6-bagger. Danielle Vandermeer. Heck of a run last night to get into the top 32 for some extended play. Stephanie Sheridan, who you see on the right side of your screen. A player from Delaware State. ITCs, man, she made a singles championship appearance. ISCs, if I'm not mistaken. Parkin knew it was in. Used a 4-pin. She is in the 260s. Jen Cutter, hey, trying to give it a run. You don't know. Cutter can get to 247. Guerrero, she'll be in. Struggling a little bit this game, but she was second. She may not be second anymore. That'll be important. Parkin will lead Group A into match play. Nice job from Missy Parkin. 268. She unofficially, Missy will be at plus 309. Missy and Baby Parkin doing work. Russo. Shot.
and gentlemen, that concludes round 3 of the Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open. Ladies, please tally up those score sheets and get them into the tournament office as quickly as possible. We will verify the scores, and we will have an announcement of who will make our top 12 for match play starting at 1 p.m.
Sorry about that, folks. Wanted to go check out some scores. So, of course, our top 12 is coming up, but unofficially, we give you what I have here. And we'll kind of go through it while we wait. 1 second. Let me make a few changes. All right. So from what I see here, I have from 8th through 17th. 8th through 17th. Shannon Puhalski shot 227. She is at plus 178. Unofficially. All scores, again, unofficial. Caitlin Simpson shot 183. She was in 9th. That drops her to plus 133 unofficially. Valerie Bercier shot 175. She was 10th at plus 141. She drops to plus 116. Kelly Kulik shot 233. She improves to plus 159. All scores are unofficial. I'm simply doing the math from the scores I have from places 8 through 17. You can follow along with your score sheet at pwba.com/live. Click on the casher's route. Kelly Kulik, again, 233. She moves to plus 159. Shannon O'Keefe shot 226. She gets to plus 150. Tanya Raumemper shot 193. She falls to plus 88. Jen Russo shot 205. She'll be at plus 98. Pamela Dahmer shot 189. She'll be at plus 62. I didn't get Diana Zavyalova's score. It's actually the only one I did not get. But she was at plus 68. Could have made a move. So her score is and does have some importance. Jennifer Cutter, she was plus 46. Got to 246. And moves to plus 92. So I do think ultimately she may come up just a few pins shy. So if 1 through 7 remains, which I think it will, in no particular order, but Shannon Puhalski would be in. Shannon O'Keefe would be, or excuse me, Kelly Kulik, Shannon O'Keefe, Caitlin Simpson. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Valerie Bercier may be 12th. So we'll find out the cut number Again, by my count, unofficially, could be plus 116. But we'll find out in just a second. So hang tight. Match play announcement coming up soon. I have it unofficially at plus 116. Could be wrong, could be right. Unsure of what the top 7 actually shot. But those names I did mention between this 8 through 17 positioning here. Pluhowski, Simpson, Brashear, Kulik, O'Keefe should be in the top 12 in some order. So the announcement is coming soon. We'll have it for you next here on PWBA Nationwide Rochester Open. Big thanks to everyone tuning in. Before I take one small break here, to make sure that we didn't miss any comments. I want to thank everyone for your viewership today.
You're not doing anything right now, are you? You are? Oh, filming? I have to go adjust something at 24 from the front.
Want me to not put a camera there?
Huh?
So you don't want me to have a camera there?
No.
24?
Just now. It'll only take me about 2 minutes.
All right, so if you folks heard me again, I thought the unofficial number would be plus 116. I want to thank everyone for their viewership. Thanks to everyone here in attendance in regards to the staff. Greg, missed your comment earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and read it off. You were listening. PWA has definitely added a lot of excitement to the sport, especially for the younger generation that wants to take their talents to the next level, certainly. Bowl with the greats like Liz Johnson, Team USA, and the international greats such as Clara. Definitely my favorite to watch, to see them go through some tough unannounced patterns and kick butt is great to watch. Thanks, Gregory, for your comment. Appreciate that, and appreciate your viewership, Troy. Troy, you should be very happy, sir. Missy Parkin should be the leader after 18 games, and she'll be the leader of the top 12 in the match play. She will lead Group A specifically. Cindy Ramsell will be excited as well, boy. Jen Russo just missing out again. So we will hold on, of course, until our match play announcement, and we'll be back in a moment, folks. Appreciate you. See Mel Williams Jr., Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open, and is live. Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have our top 12 for this afternoon's match play. We're going to start with our tournament leader, plus 309, Missy Parkin.
Missy Parkin, your leader.
Qualifying second at plus 211, Jackie Reese.
Jackie Reese is second. How about
And
that?
third at plus 201, Christina Zerbinski. Qualifying fourth at plus 181 is Clara Guerrero. In 5th place at 178 over, Shannon Plahowski. At plus 165 in 6th place is Danielle McHugh. Qualifying 7th at plus 159, Kelly Kulick. In 8th place at plus 154, Liz Johnson. We have a tie for 9th and 10th at plus 150 with Maria Jose Rodriguez and Shannon O'Keefe. Qualifying in 11th at plus 133 is Caitlin Simpson. And our 12th and final qualifier at plus 116 is Valerie Bercier. Plus 116
All right, folks.
is our cut
That number was
for this
correct. It
afternoon's
is
match
plus
play of the
116, and it is
PWBA
Valerie Bercier. Missy
Nationwide
Parkin
Rochester Open.
leads.
Ladies, roll call in.
She'll lead Group A.
the
We got a tie
locker
for 9th.
At 12:50, lane lights
And I
will come
believe that
on.
tiebreaker is
12:15 for warm-up.
broken
So
in
again,
regards
we'll see
to
you all
who
at
is in
1
what
o'clock
group by highest
for our
block.
head-to-head
So
match.
we'll check that to see who will be in what group. So we'll start match play at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 p.m. Eastern
Jennifer
Time.
Russo, if you're
Right
still
here.
in the building, please come to
And
the
Jennifer
front counter.
Russo. Looks like she finished 13th yet again. Just missing out. Well, Jen, a non-member. I know she's cast a couple times, and you can only do it, I believe, twice. My rules are correct 3 times before you have to become a member. No more standard events, of course. The U.S. Women's Open is an open event. She did bowl the Queen, so I think she'll be safe in that regard if she'd like to bowl the U.S. Women's Open. I hope she does, because she's been on a roll. Nonetheless, we'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll talk more about that. Bring your comments, bring your rooting skills, and I look forward to talking with you at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll try to get you some guests as well. We'll see who will be in the building, and we'll line up a couple for you before our group step ladder finals at 5 p.m. Match play. Got some new faces in match play. It should be a good one. For Jason Thomas, Daniil Milligan, Kathy Wadka, and Kathy Kavicki, Nicole Osborne here as well. Big thanks to Jim Callahan joining me this morning, the Cashers Rounder from Storm. My name is Emil Williams Jr. We'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern. You're watching the Nationwide PWBA Rochester Open. You watched it live, Bowl TV on Extra Frame.